Right, we're here. We're back. We're back. We've got the bestie in the seat today. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Well, hello guys. Welcome to another episode. We have a very special guest today. We have Claire in the building.
Hi.
We are going to do a really fun episode. We're going to do a Q&A style girls advice. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. We've got some juicy questions.
We
Some good
have.
ones.
We asked on Instagram. We asked our clients.
Our clients pulled through with some really good questions.
So good. I'm excited. We might as well just jump straight into it.
Let's go.
I've got the questions on my phone. We're going to read them out and answer all of your juicy dilemmas. So, okay, first one. Nice long questions to start off. Hey girls, firstly, wanted to start off by saying that you both are some of my biggest inspirations. The way you navigate life and share your stories is so inspiring and I look up to you both so much. This is a long question, but recently I've been going through my own mental health and mindset journey. Well done. We love that. Fully embracing this season of life with many ups and downs, feeling lost, yet in a strange way also found. I'm working on getting my spark back to have this amazing glow up, not only mentally but physically. Embracing the feminine side of myself as someone that is very hyper independent and a lot of the time in my masculine energy because of this. One of my big goals that I'm working toward is finding the feminine side of myself through acts of self-care, putting in effort into my appearance, wearing jewelry, all of the girly things which I love but struggle to embrace for myself because I feel like I don't deserve to. What are some tips to help show love to myself, embrace my feminine side more, be more gentle? I feel very tomboy, but I don't want to have that energy in my life anymore. And have seen you both completely transform into this feminine energy. Any tips and directions would be greatly appreciated.
Ooh, we're starting off with a good one. Love this.
Lots to unpack.
Lots to unpack. I feel like, where do we even want to start? I feel like amazing like self-awareness in this question. Like, well done you for being so aware and knowing that you want to change or you want to see some changes. I think when we think of like a masculine versus feminine energy, I think tapping into the feminine actually isn't about doing things. It's more so letting go. I think personally that's where my brain instantly goes to, just like surrendering in this season of surrender. Would you say the same?
I would say the same. I think that it's important that we kind of have a bit of both as well. Like not completely letting go of one and focusing on trying to chase the other. It's sort of letting that femme come out, just as you said.
Because like as gym girlies, like we are so in our masculine. As like where we run businesses, we are so in our masculine a lot. But like allowing that not to be a problem, it doesn't make us wrong or anything. That's part of who we are. But then allowing ourselves to have moments of just fully like letting go, letting our hair down, just accepting, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes helps me get into my feminine for sure.
Okay, so then a question for you that kind of ties into the feminine. What do you do? She said here she doesn't feel like she deserves to do those nice things. What can we what can we do to sort of help that?
Yeah, I think I feel like unpacking why you don't feel like you deserve it. Like, where does that come from? Because I feel like just generally every human deserves to feel a certain way and deserves to feel how they want to feel. So unpacking that, finding out the root cause of where that comes from, because without sort of unpacking that, what would you say to that?
Yeah, I think like we all absolutely deserve to feel that way. And I think like I don't love labeling things. I feel like my whole life I was really labeled like a tomboy as well. I had all boyfriends. I didn't have many girlfriends. I didn't do dance, didn't do all this. And it's funny because people see me now as the way I am. You know, I pose, I'm blonde, like all these things. And they kind of would put a label on me to be one this way, feminine, you know, pretty
Womanly
blonde, whatever
and
girl. But my whole life I had the identity of being a tomboy and that label. And I just don't think there needs to be a specific label of you are a tomboy or you're not, or you're feminine or you're not.
It's interesting even hearing you say that, because yes, you may come across that way as super feminine and stuff, but more times than not, like you and I go for skates together and we hang out and we do like fun, I suppose, like quote unquote tomboyish type things. So that, yeah, labeling I feel like is where the problem comes up. You don't have to be fit into a box. You can be, a tomboy, 2 hours of the day, and then feminine 3 hours of the day, whatever it is. Like you can have that blend for sure.
Yeah. And then I think like when you can kind of detach from that label, you feel like you don't have to deserve it or not. Like I, for a long time when I was in school, had like, I was like tomboy clothes, wore all the boy stuff, and I had all the girly kind of friends. And then I would sort of feel like, well, I can't wear that kind of stuff because I'm this way, or I don't deserve to because I'm not as girly as those girls. And it was sort of realizing that like, well, if I want to be a little bit like this, I can have a little bit of both. It's not like you have to be the picture perfect girly girl to be deserving of that feeling, if that makes sense.
And even in the way that question was worded and unpacked, I think that, is there a part of this person that's not fully accepting that like there are feminine parts of them? Like, is there an element of like you being a tomboy has kept you safe? Has there been growing up, like did you get along easier with boys? Like, is that something that came easier, so you sort of fell into that identity rather than like now you're feeling lost and you're feeling like you're also finding yourself? Is that because you're all of a sudden trying to start to accept that part of you?
Which is so important. And that's actually a really good point. She said in there that she feels lost but also found. And I think that's a really, there was a quote that I read that like it said, finding yourself and like figuring yourself out is never going to feel smooth. It's going to feel messy. It's going to feel really rough. And like going through this journey, even though it might be progressive and you might actually be making progress in your mental health and your confidence, it's not actually going to feel good. Like it never actually feels magical, like you're walking down this beautiful road of like, I'm figuring it all out. Like a lot of the time it feels bad.
Yeah, because it's not, as humans, we love to be safe and we love to stick to what's like normal, and any type of change is hard. It feels icky and it feels different and it feels uncertain. So having those feelings of you feeling like lost but found and it's just all a bit weird and mucky, that's probably means you're on the right path anyway.
Yes. New always feels wrong, even if it's the right thing. Like even if it's the perfect path, it's not gonna feel good because new things just don't feel good. They just never do. They never do. And we were just saying in the car, like it's actually funny that this question comes up because we were literally just saying in the car, we feel weird in normal clothes.
Yeah.
Like this to us feels, it's weird. It's not normal for us. And so not that it's wrong or right, it's just different, and different never feels like safe, comfortable.
Yeah, but I love wearing normal clothes. Like I was saying to Morgan, like we yesterday had planned to wear activewear, and that would have been safe and comfortable for us.
Because I literally said, I was like, let's just wear like gym clothes, then it's like comfy.
Yeah, but we stepped out of our comfort zones, and yes, sometimes it does feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels icky, and honestly, like you might have seen Morgan and I have this glow up, this transformation or whatnot, but it still feels weird and uncomfortable sometimes, and that's okay too.
100%. And we both probably have had this journey of stepping a little bit more into our feminine, and I think for me it hasn't even been stepping into my feminine, it's been stepping into myself and stepping out of the labels that I had for myself. And so when I look at my year glow up, where I really feel like I have had a massive glow up, it hasn't been specifically like trying to be more feminine. I've just tried to be more me and like find who that is. And that's felt uncertain all year. Like it's felt weird.
Yeah.
But it's felt nice as well, of course.
That's made me have that same reflection. Like I feel like over the past 12 months is where I really see me coming into me, and that was because I started asking myself what I wanted to feel, what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, and started, honoring that and showing up in that every single day. And that's probably been the transformation that you've also seen. Like, that's just been me choosing me every step of the way.
100%.
Crazy.
Wild, right? But it's also like I have put effort into my appearance more than ever before as well, and things like that, because you're choosing you. Like, I'm choosing to do these things because I respect myself and love myself so much that I deserve to feel good. Whereas in the past, I sort of, again, I had like that label of like that tomboy of like, I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what I look like. Like, I'll wear my hair messy. It doesn't matter. Whereas now I'm like, no, I respect myself enough to be like, I like to put effort into my appearance, and not for other people, but for me to feel good. And that's been as well, like that acceptance of like, allow yourself to feel the love for yourself, to give yourself that. Like, I love myself enough to care for myself.
Yeah. My brain just goes to when Hattie Boydell talks about discipline/devotion. And I think about devotion, not even just in the gym sense, like devoting your life and your energy to making you feel good. But that also comes down to that. Like, I love to devote my time and energy to things that make me feel good, whether it's gym, training, eating well, or also just like showing up and having pride in my appearance as well. I love that. Yeah. What was the second part of that question? I feel like there are things that we haven't.
So she said, any tips and directions would be greatly appreciated. Feel very tomboy, but don't feel like I want to have that energy in my life, and seeing you both completely transform. I think, and tips to help show love to myself and embrace my feminine side more. I think it's honestly just coming down to what we sort of just said about like, why don't you feel like you can give yourself that love? Like, break that down, sort of try and get out of that safety net of being a tomboy, and knowing that like, that is a label that you've put on yourself to keep yourself safe in a little bubble. And you need to feel the discomfort of stepping out of that comfort zone and giving yourself, like, feel the discomfort of getting out of your comfort zone by giving yourself love. Like, giving yourself the gentle kindness and treatment that you deserve isn't going to feel comfortable. So you're going to have to step out of that comfort zone one way or another. And just because it feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do.
And also, like, the resistance towards the tomboy, like, you don't have to give that completely up to be feminine. Like, I freaking love that I am so fun and I go out and do things. I have my shoes off right now, like things that may be tomboyish. I still love that part of me, and I also still love the feminine, let go, surrender, girly side of me as well. So yeah, nothing's right or wrong. Letting go of the labels, I feel like, is something that will really help this person for sure.
Definitely. I always think about what Callum always used to say to me when I first met him. Like, I would say, I'm trying not to wear boy clothes or whatever, or like, I don't look like those cook eye girls or whatever I always used to call them. And Callum would be like, but you're just cool because you're like, you do it all. Like, I like you because of the mix. And so it's just remembering that, like, we should also just love that big mix of ourselves, because that's what makes us special.
Yeah.
That's what makes us special, because if you weren't that little mix of everything, you would be, there'd be nothing like surprising about you, right?
Exactly. Facts.
Well, I hope that answers the question.
That
We've
was
just given you a bit
fun
of
one.
Yeah, a bit of like whole life, story there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good little segue. So you both seem to have a good balance between living your life to the fullest and working hard. How do I find balance between being disciplined and having a social life?
Oh, I love this one.
This is Claire's forte.
Yeah, living your best life. I feel like I've really tapped into this over the past, probably, like, my prep taught me big time about this. For those of you who haven't followed me along, I prepped at the start of this year and went through a comp prep. And in that journey, I met my now partner, Jordan, and I feel like he encouraged a very playful side of me. And I really wanted to spend time doing that, but I also had prep. I had my targets to meet, and I also had to run my business. So I feel like just by the whole timing of that situation, it allowed me to balance both. And I just really what it came down to was setting targets and boundaries with those targets. So like making sure I was meeting my prep targets, making sure I was meeting my work targets, and then setting the boundary of those things finished when I started to encourage that playful time. And I made a lot of time for it, a lot of time for that playful energy. But I think having those strong boundaries is what made that such a successful like phase of my life, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it comes back to the labeling and the right or wrong. Like, you don't have to be a fun person or a disciplined person. Like, you can just be a fun, disciplined person. Like, you can be it all. You don't have to. I think a lot of listeners and a lot of like my clients, they feel like they can only be one or the other. Like, you can only be successful if you're super disciplined and you don't have a social life, or you can only have fun in your life if you don't have a job or something like that. Whereas like, you can prove to yourself that you can do both. And it comes down to setting those boundaries and having those strict sort of like, okay, well, I need to get my work done and I'm going to do this. But just having the understanding that you can do both. Like,
even when it comes down to like something that's so disciplined in prep is food, right? And throughout my whole, the first 6 months of dating this new partner, I didn't ever let the food of prep limit me from hanging out with this person. I had such a active social life because I, made the food side of things work. I didn't ever let my discipline or my like strict side of me limit me from other areas of my life. And I think that's such a strong thing to like go ahead with. Like, your rules don't ever have to limit you from other aspects of your life. You can sort of always make it work. You can get creative with your food, or you can have your meal prep when out in a social setting and not be restricted in that sense as well.
absolutely. Like, it's so easy to take your food out and go and do things. You can eat beforehand, you can take your meal with you, you can track food in. Like, we've done a pretty good job this prep for me. I've even gone out to Grilled a couple times and just tracked in a burger. Like, it's been possible. And having the right environment around you, like having people that are going to support that, is also helpful as well. Like, having people that are like, oh, well, do you want to come out with us? You can bring your meal prep, or we can cook you dinner, and we've got scales and we can weigh everything. And so when you've got the right kind of people around you, it's going to be a lot easier to mix those two.
Yeah, for sure. I think when it comes down to it, like, if you write down like how you want to feel, what you want to do, what are the things you want to do, and that might mean that you have some goals like, business or a fitness journey or whatnot, and then you also might have like having a vibrant social life. Look at all the things that you want and say, how can I make this work? How can I do it? Because more often than not, you will get out of your own way and find a way if you want it bad enough.
Absolutely. And it's so possible. And what you just said there is literally the perfect encompass of it is get clear on your values. How do you want to live your life? Do you want to be disciplined? Do you want to have adventure? Do you want to have relationships? Tick, tick, tick. Yeah, figure it out. Make it work, because it's possible. It's possible if you don't put that limit on yourself that you can only have one or the other. And so when you start to just say, okay, well, I do want both, what am I going to do? And I think understanding that it doesn't have to be one or the others, so crucial.
Yeah, you can have it all.
You definitely can. And we've proved that as well. Like, both of our preps have been so successful and the most enjoyable.
So fun.
Yeah. And we've also proved that, you proved to me when you prepped at the start of the year that you can have a successful prep and an enjoyable prep. And so then I've tried to prove it to myself this prep that I can do the same. And I have. I've proved it to myself, but I also had that social proof from you that it was possible.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when we're on prep now, but I feel like when it comes to prep, like, you can choose to suffer. And that's something that you and Cal said all the time. Like, you can choose to suffer, or you can just choose to enjoy the hard. Just because it's hard, which, you can see anything as hard. You can see following a diet as hard. You can see being unhealthy and overweight as hard, whatever it is. You can see it as hard, you don't have to suffer in that though. You can still choose the things that you want without it being suffering.
100%.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, that kind of segues into our next good question, which is how to navigate having friends with different goals to you. For example, at the moment, I'm in a cut and still want to go to my friend's baby shower or her birthday, but also still have goals to hit. Is there a way I can happily do both without losing or compromising our goals? Well, we literally pretty much just touched on that. The fact that you absolutely can. Where's the kind of, what did she say? Is there a way you can happily do both without losing or compromising either?
Yes. Yes, you can absolutely do it. Communication is key. If these people really like respect you and like value having you in their life, you can just say, hey, these are my goals. I'm still going to come and have fun. It's not going to take away from their experience, but you need their support in that. And if they are a good friend, they will let you do that.
Definitely. And I think like this is, I don't know, maybe this is a bit like harsh, I don't know, but like an amateur bodybuilding prep or a mini cut that you're doing, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal, you know? Like you shouldn't go hermit mode for bodybuilding or anything, for like nothing in life. None of your goals really are worth losing all your friends, cutting off all of your social interaction, going completely hermit. Like there's not many things in this world that are really worth you doing that. So I would say, and I don't know, this might sound a little bit harsh, but really like an amateur bodybuilding prep for a bikini comp, I don't think it's worth you just going and losing all of your friendships and all of your life for. And that's not to say don't like go and cheat on your diet and go to the baby shower and go and have 10 drinks. But like just take the food, go and have a good time. If you have a late night, you miss a couple of hours of sleep, it's probably not the end of the world, and it's probably worth keeping your friends over rather than isolating yourself and really having a shit time just to get third place in first timers.
Yeah. Oof. But like it's so true, and it's so refreshing hearing that from you, someone who you obviously value your health and fitness and your bodybuilding career so much, and to hear you say like it's actually not worth losing people over. It's like if you're listening, take something away from that.
Mic drop.
But it's like it's so true. Like if for example my prep took away from my life, I wouldn't have prepped. That experience, like I never let that be an excuse for me not to do things. And that's the same with you. Like you can go to your baby shower, you can go communicate with your friends. Sometimes you just have to put your big boy pants on and say, hey, this is really, really important to me. I'm going to be acting this way. I don't need your opinion. I don't need you to make a comment about it. I'm going to be there and this is what I'm going to do. And just be so strong in your own, beliefs and your own values and your own actions that you will stick to that, because the people in your life, like they won't like judge you for it. They won't have something, like they won't be able to change your actions if you're so strong in them anyway.
Absolutely. And if you're concerned about going to these parties because you're concerned about falling off track, then getting more clear on why you're doing this and getting really clear on the values that you want to live by is the most important thing. Get clear on, does your best self go to parties and just fuck her diet off? Or does your best self go have a good time, have fun, drink a Pepsi Max, eat her meal prep and go home? Get clear on that, write it down, journal it, write it down in the car right before you get out of the car to the party. What does my best self do? Just get really clear on that, and then hopefully that kind of makes it a little bit easier. Just
for an example, I was, I think, like 4 weeks out, and I was invited to a party with some of my closest friends. It was actually not a party. It was a rave. And we went, and I kid you not, I tore up that dance floor until like midnight. And I had the best time. I didn't drink. I didn't do like anything else. I ate my food beforehand, and I had a Pepsi Max, and I had a great time. And like, just because you are adhering to a diet or whatnot. And just because you have goals doesn't mean you have to miss out in your life. Particularly like this was this person's family. Is it their sister?
Oh, just a friend. Yeah,
Just a
friend's
friend.
baby shower.
Yeah, like that's such a beautiful phase that they're in, and that you're supporting them in, so they can also support you in your health and fitness goals.
Yeah. And if they don't, you don't have to cut them off. You can just spend less time with them. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good one.
Love it.
Love that. That was such a good question. Thank you guys for sending such good questions through, by the way. But we'll have to make this a regular thing because
Yeah.
so many good questions. We're not going to
This
get
is
through them all.
fun.
Okay, so when life gets overwhelming, how do you manage to stay consistent with the gym, especially when it's the last thing you want to do? Okay, this is, I mean, it's so multi-layered.
Yeah.
My first thought about this is that make the gym and make being healthy the constant in like an ever-changing world. Like life is always going to throw all these different things. Life is going to be overwhelming. It's going to be busy. It's going to be hectic. Make gym like your focal point, like your anchor. That's something that you always keep going back to, no matter how overwhelming or chaotic everything else in life gets. That'd be my first point. But okay,
I would say the same. I would say like the gym and my health and fitness is something that's so valuable to me that it is something that's non-negotiable in my life. And if I'm negotiating it, if I'm saying, oh, it's not optional, like that's where I'm going wrong. It is something that is not optional in my life because it's something that makes me feel my best. It makes me show up as my best. And it makes me like it's such an important part of my life. So I've made it that important that it's something that I don't negotiate whether I feel like it or not. And there are days absolutely that I don't feel like showing up, and maybe on those days, if you do need to have a softer day, if you need more recovery or whatever it is, go for a walk. Like you can still be active without, smashing yourself in a heavy leg day. You can train up a body or you sort of like change the mode of activity that you sort of have. But I will never see activity as not an essential part of my life because it's like waking up. It's like going to work. It's so important that I will never live without it.
And you know what? It's not even like the activity. It's the devotion to the self-love. It's like the self-love and this all going to tie back all around to the same thing, right? Like the self-love and the care for yourself should be the anchor that anchors you for every single thing. Like no matter what, you should always come back to the things that make you healthier, happier, better. And so training, movement, eating healthy, that's not just like a luxury. It's not just a thing we do because we have to, or it's a thing that we are doing to get us somewhere. It's like it should be the most important thing that you always focus on. And so you're right in the sense that it doesn't have to be like if the last thing you want to do is go to the gym, sure, whatever, don't go to the gym, but still be doing something that is making you feel good and moving you towards a healthier version of you.
I think this is where like your language is so important. Like what you just said, like the idea of devotion around like yourself and that self-love, it is an act of self-love that you are showing up. It's not something that's restricting you. It's not something that you have to do because you hate yourself. You're not running away from anything. You're actually making your life better by giving that time to yourself. So yeah, just switching that language around the gym, around your healthy lifestyle, around the things that you want to do and why you want to do them, I think is so important as well.
Yeah, no, I love what you just said there about it's not about running away from things. Like it's not like, gym and health, it's not an act of like restriction, and it shouldn't feel that way. It shouldn't ever feel like you're in a cage trying to like have to do this kind of stuff. It should be the opposite. It should feel so freeing. I think about my own self right now of it feels amazing to make a healthy meal. I feel so good about myself. I'm just eating it going, wow, I am nourishing my body. I'm not eating it going, oh, fuck, like I wish I could be having this. And so I think like even on those days where if things feel like less good, it's still like an act of self-love. Like if I'm having a sad morning, giving myself a really healthy, nourishing meal is like my act of self-care.
It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel, it's going to help with even your brain health and how your brain's functioning in that moment. Yeah, for sure.
And so, the self-awareness of the language that you're using, like trying to get away from it's the last thing I want to do. I have to do this. I need to go to the gym. Like these are all words that are going to put you in that cage and that resistance, and it's going to feel like a big coming up in front of you. As soon as you can say like, I get to do this. I'm doing this because of this. Like I'm nourishing my body. I'm fueling my body. I'm moving my body because it's what it needs. It's what it wants. Like treat I don't know. I think about, I think I said this to a client the other day, like, what would you do? Think about somebody that you love. Think about the person in your life that you love the most, like a friend, a family member, like your little sister. Like I always think about it with my little sister, because she is not someone I romantically love like Callum, but she's probably one of the most, like, I love her the most out of everyone in my life.
That care factor.
Yeah,
for sure.
How would I treat her? Like, what would I tell her? What would I fuel her with? What would I tell her to do? Do that to yourself. Like, what would I say to my sister if she's having a sad day? I wouldn't say, go and eat a whole block of chocolate, girl. Like, go and gorge yourself sick. Like, I would say, go out in the sun, go to the beach, go and have a yummy, healthy meal. Like, do the things that you would want for them, do to yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat the people that you love the most in your life. Because really, you should love yourself the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like just viewing it in that different perspective is so powerful. Like, zoom out, look at yourself from like the outside lens. I love the idea of treating it from like, your little sister or like your best friend. What advice would you give to them for sure?
Yeah. And even around like mindset and language, like talk to yourself like you would talk to your 4-year-old niece. Like when your 4-year-old niece falls over or knocks a cup over, I would hope that you're not like, you fucking idiot, you're so dumb, you always do this. You're like, it's all good, girl. Like, just pick it up. Just pick it up. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
I think that's so important as well. Like just remembering that kind of reframe.
Yeah, like when you have a human moment, treat it as a human moment. Don't like beat yourself up like you're evil. Like it's not that deep. If you, even when you are talking about adherence or something like that, like if you do have a day where you do skip the gym, like just move on. Just move on and like refocus moving forward. You don't have to sit there being like, oh, I'm such a failure because I didn't show up for that session. Like, no, just pick up and try again.
No, literally. And like think about, again, the 4-year-old niece. Like if your 4-year-old niece is like, Morgan, I don't want to go to daycare. You're not like, oh, you're never going to succeed. You're going to be homeless because you're not going to get a job because you don't want to go to daycare. Like that's the same way, right? Like we think, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today. So then immediately you're like, you're going to get fat. You're going to be
a failure,
disgusting. You're going to be a failure and you're going to die. And then we sort of go, like it's the complete black and white. We go to the extremes. But if a little toddler comes to you and says they don't want to go to school one day, you're not like, haha, you're never going to learn. You're never going to be able to read. You suck. You're just going to say, oh, well, that's okay. Like we've still got to go. It's important for you. Even if you don't want to, we sort of make this effort. It should be the exact same with ourselves.
Yeah. And even in that, like if the going to the gym like feels like, this big overwhelming massive thing that you really can't do that day, even just like setting the intention, instead of going for a whole session, just go for one exercise. More likely than not, getting to the gym is actually going to be the hardest thing. So if you can get to the gym, you've probably won your hardest battle that day anyway.
100%. Once you're there, you'll be vibing.
Yeah.
You'll be vibing.
Love it.
Okay.
I'm just going to crack this.
Love your podcast, by the way. I especially loved the Millie episode. Thank you. That was one of my favorites as well. I'm constantly breaking the promises that I make to myself. Now I have no confidence. For example, when I say I'm going to start journaling, I just feel it in my gut that I'm not going to stay consistent, so I sort of don't bother. Then it leads to me feeling insecure because I feel like I never do hard things. How do I rebuild my self-trust?
This is a great question. First of all, you're aware of everything, which is great because when you're aware of things, you can start to break the pattern. And you don't have to be perfect with journaling every day. Like if you set that goal to journal every day, you don't need to be perfect with that. And I think just removing that all or nothing approach from it, instead of going like, oh, if I'm not absolutely perfect at this right away, I shouldn't even bother trying. Just start with one small win and then just continuously stack the wins. That's how you're going to build the self-trust.
Yeah, 100%. The confidence in your ability to do something only comes from proof. And it doesn't have to be proof of perfection or a big win. It just needs to be really tiny little nuggets and tiny little like stacks to prove it. And I think what you just said there is like, you don't have to chase perfection, but I think the consistency is the most important thing. Like if you set out to start journaling and you're like, if you just know it in your gut that you're not going to, you just have to write one word and then tomorrow write two.
Yeah.
And then just keep trying to do like a little bit and a little bit. And then in like 2 weeks time, you'll be like, oh, okay, like I've done something.
Yeah, I think just like rewiring that internal dialogue as well. Like if you feel like you know it in your gut that you're not going to succeed at something, you're already setting yourself up for failure. So like when you hear that voice come up, the beautiful thing about being human, this is what I say to my clients all the time, is you can think about the thoughts you think. So even if you have that thought being like, oh no, I'm not going to do this because I'm not going to be consistent with it, be like, fuck off. Like tell that, the devil on your shoulder, like that he's not right. And then instead start to rewire that pattern. Be like, no, I can do this. No, I will show myself that I can. And just repeat it until you follow through with action. And then you follow through with action, you will stack the wins and then you will build that self-trust over time for sure.
Yeah. And then that will bleed into every other area of your life. And to be fair, like you can build that self-trust in other areas of your life and it will shuttle into the journaling as well. So if the journaling is too hard, this is too like, it's just not the right thing right now, focus on something else that you can start to build trust in yourself with. And then the more self-trust you build in other areas, you'll probably be able to relay that into other things, because once you have a little bit of self-trust, like I think about this a lot with myself, is I have a lot of people look at me that think I'm quite confident, but I don't really feel like I have a lot of confidence in my looks or anything like that. Like I don't walk around being like, I'm so beautiful or whatever, but I have a lot of self-trust and self-belief in like that I stick to things that I say I'm going to do. And that's where my confidence comes from. And then that bleeds into all other areas of my life. But that comes from the small things. It comes from like, if I say that I'm going to meet a friend, I'll do it. Like all these little things, they just, in all little areas of my life, I have a lot of self-trust in myself because I just work on sticking to those little things.
And this person, I'm sure there are areas where you are sticking to things, where you can pull the evidence for your self-trust. Like, for example, I'm sure this person goes to work. Like, if you show up to, a job, or if you show up to uni, or, if you're in school or whatever it is, like, you can pull that trust from you showing up and you being consistent in those areas, and you can start to develop that trust in yourself in other areas too. So like, just like you would show up to work, start showing up to the gym, or start showing up, doing a meal at a time, doing a meal prep on a Sunday. Like those things all translate, but there will be areas in your life that you have built your own trust. So like, let's look at that rather than all the areas that you've broken your trust. Let's focus on those, the trust building things. Don't focus on the things where you're letting yourself down, because you're just going to be constantly in this like struggle. I feel like when you focus on, like, what you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on the failures or the, the things where you aren't like consistent with yet, instead of focusing on that, focus on the things you are doing good.
Yeah. And pulling up the evidence, that's so important. Pulling out every time you have a limiting belief or you have negative self-talk, pull up evidence that debunks that. Even if it's the smallest piece of evidence and it's from 6 years ago, pull it up. Keep pulling it up and reminding yourself of that.
It doesn't even have to be from your own evidence. Like you can say, Morgan's consistent, so I can be too. You can look at like people in your world, whether it's like online, whether it's in person, you can look at what they do. And just because they're doing it, that means you can too.
100%. Yeah, that's exciting. And I think like when you think about it in that way, anything is possible.
And that's the thing that I remember when I was early on in my mindset journey, someone said that to me, like the people you idolize, like just because they're doing things that, you know, you want to do, like just because they're doing it means that you can too. And I feel like that's where comparison can be such a good thing. Like if you were comparing yourself being like, oh, I'm shit, I'm focusing on the negative, I'm focusing on all the reasons I can't be that person. Instead of focusing on that, start shifting your focus to be like, just because they can do it means I can too, which that's where comparison can be a beautiful, motivating thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we sort of touched on this with the all or nothing, but someone said how to avoid and get out of that all or nothing mindset. For example, if getting on track, how to not let if falling off track, how to not let the rest of the week go off track as well, but trying to get back on track the next meal, or feeling guilty if you don't exercise one day and just trying to pick it up the next day, which we sort of just covered there in the sense that like small wins and consistency is going to be most important rather than trying to be perfect every single day or have this, I have to go to the gym, have to do it one specific way.
Yeah, I think when I, again, explain this to my clients, I will look at 7 days. In 7 days, if you're having 3 meals a day, that's 21 meals in a week. If you're having one, you know, off meal, that's 20 meals that you are on for. So just because you have, you know, one meal that isn't in line with your all approach doesn't mean it all has to go to nothing. Like there is so many opportunities in that week to focus on your goals. And even if you're like making little progress. Like for example, if you turn one consistent meal into 2 and 2 into 3 and 3 into 4, it all compounds. And like in the whole week, there are so many opportunities to compound that and to like build that. So instead of focusing on like always being perfect, zoom out and focus on what would happen if some of them are perfect or some of them are on track.
Yeah. Progress comes from what you do most of the time, not some of the time. It's the sum of the time never matters. If the sum of the time turns into most of the time, that's when you start to have the problem. So think of it as like most and some. Most of the time, sometimes. If you're having meals off plan sometimes, or you're skipping the gym sometimes, that's okay. If it's most of the time, then we can start to reevaluate. But I think just taking off that guilt and the shame for the sometimes really creates a little better, I guess, a better environment for you to just let it stay sometimes.
Yeah, I think like even looking at people like I suppose Morgan and I, you're listening to this because you probably know who we are. You probably know who Morgan is. Like Morgan still has meals off plan. Like I still have meals off plan. Like just because we are doing that, more often than not, I treat it as something that's planned. I treat my, you know, my cheat days or my like unconventional meals as something that I have planned in. So just because of that, I am helping myself still feel like I'm all in, but those sometime meals are actually planned into my plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have a complete slip up and it's completely off plan, you weren't supposed to, you were supposed to be doing this way or whatever, then just don't beat yourself up. Like don't fight it. I think that's really where we start to, as soon as you feel guilt and shame and resistance and negativity, it festers and it usually leads to self-sabotage. So as soon as you can just take the negative out of it and it's just a neutral experience, oh, I fucked up. We've all been there. I fuck up. Like we literally all do. But it's like, how do you perceive that? And then how do you let that rumble through to the rest of the day?
And I feel like what you just said there is perfect. Like I like to help myself become a little bit more neutral to a fuck up, like a mistake, by sort of trumping it with logic. Like when you have a meal off plan, more than likely it's just protein, carbs and fats. What are they going to do for you? Probably just give you more energy for the next day. If you have you skip a gym session or whatnot, really, in the grand scheme of things, 80% of your progress is made through diet anyway. So like one skip gym session is not going to be the end of the world. What you just need to do is just like pick it up the next day as well. So I think just like trumping it with logic, just because you miss one gym session doesn't mean you're going to get fat the next day. Just because you have a meal off plan doesn't mean anything. You're probably just going to have a better session the next day anyway. I think just like diminishing why you feel guilty and sort of like treating yourself, like chatting yourself through the logic of like what is actually going to happen. I feel like that's a really good way of just like giving it less power.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I love that.
This is so fun.
There's so many good questions. I know, it's amazing.
I don't realize I have all this in my brain sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit of a pivot. Hi Morgan, love your podcast. Thank you for sharing your insight. Thank you for listening. I don't think my coach is right for me. I feel like they don't actually listen to me and my needs. It's like their way or nothing. But I've been with them for so long. I'm scared to say anything or break up with them. Also, what are things to look for in a coach?
Love the phrasing of break up with them because that's how it feels. Like,
we've all been there.
We have all been there. I've left coaches.
I'll say this straight off the bat. If you are scared about breaking up with your coach because they're going to be mad, they're showing their true colors. If they get mad at you for leaving them, that's a good thing. You've
red flag.
You have like skipped a bullet there, missed the bullet there, because fuck me. We should not be fearing leaving a coach, or we shouldn't be fearing bad conversations, hard conversations because of that. Because at the end of the day, if they react badly, that's on them, not on you.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, a job of a coach is to make your health and fitness journey better. It's not to guilt you into staying at all. They should want the best for you. And if you feel like the best for you is leaving, that's probably like a decision you need to make. Can you read the question again?
I don't think my coach is right for me. I feel like they don't actually listen to me and my needs.
See, that's where coaching is so individual. Every single person is different. Their lifestyle is different. Their responsibilities are different. Their wants and goals and whatnot are different. So the fact that the coach is treating it as like a cookie cutter approach, like you are human, you are different, you are unique, and you need a unique approach for sure.
100%. And the fact that they've said it's either their way or nothing, like there is no one right way. Like nobody has it figured out, and also every single other person is different. So even if there was the perfect approach for that coach and that one client, it will not be the same for somebody else.
For example, do you have a meal plan or macros?
Macros.
Yeah. You've used a meal plan in the past, haven't you? Mm-hmm. I remember when I met you, you were like strict on meal plan and I was like macros through and through. Then I went through a period of meal plan. Morgan went through a period of macros now. Like you are able to, like there are so many different approaches that can work for a similar goal. You don't have to stick to one way or the highway. Definitely.
And I think like the fact that you are feeling like you've been with them for so long and you're scared to say anything, I think that that's also a sort of like a indication that maybe you've stuck around for much too long as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, would you stay in a relationship just because, like, if it was really, really wrong, but just because you've been with them forever? Like, no.
Well, I mean, yeah, lots of people do though, don't they?
Lots of people do. They shouldn't.
That's the problem. That's our red flag right there. But anyway, I think like, well, when it comes to relationship, we need to have hard conversations. That's important. If we haven't had the space created for us to feel open enough to have the hard conversation, then that's going to make the hard conversation really hard to have, but it's going to make it even more important to have.
Okay, what advice would you give to this person with breaking up with their coach? Like, how would they go and do that?
Well, I think it should be, to be fair, just speak, like just saying it. Like, hey, look, this isn't working. I had a really bad coach breakup couple of coaches ago before my coach now. Whereas when I said this isn't working, they blew up at me. They got so angry. I got so upset. I felt like I'd made the wrong decision. I felt like my bodybuilding career was over. I felt like everything that I've been doing was going to go out the window. And as soon as I realized that like they've just shown me their true colors, I was okay. I was like, oh, I just dodged a bullet. Like, oh
That's
my
crazy.
God. Yeah, it was pretty rough. Anyway, ended up really giving me the confidence to know that I'd made the right decision. So I feel like just doing it. Like, I don't think there's ever going to be a nice comfortable way, but it's like with anything, like, how do you break up with a partner? I don't know. You just gotta
figure it out somehow.
just gotta do it.
But even like communicating literally what you just said in the little question box, like saying that like your needs aren't being met and you don't feel like this is the right fit, you can do that. Honestly, the coach will probably learn from it if they are a good coach and if they take that message being like, oh my God, like if a client said that to me, I would be like, bro, have a refund.
Yeah.
But also, like, just communicating it is such an important thing.
Yeah. But also think about, like, are you assuming that it's going to be bad? Are you assuming that they're going to, like, we've just assumed that the coach is going to blow up.
Yeah.
But you might actually find that coach might say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I felt like I was giving you what you needed, and maybe they just didn't realize, and maybe that was actually a lack of communication on your behalf, that you hadn't actually expressed what you feel like you needed. Like, is your coach giving you a plan because they actually think that that's what you want? Like, have you said to them, have you expressed in the first place, hey, I don't actually like this meal plan. I'm struggling to stick with it. Are you giving them the feedback in your check-ins for them to actually know that something is wrong? That's a whole nother conversation.
And if you are and they're still not, if they're saying, no, it's this way, which it seems like just in how you worded that question, it's their way or the highway. If you have communicated and they're not listening it, like, that's a good reason to leave.
Yeah.
You just be like, hey, I don't think this is working. That's
Absolutely.
already been communicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, communicate if you haven't already done that.
Yeah. She said as well, what are things to look for in a coach? Like some green flags.
Unique approach. Like a person, I feel like an approach that, you know, has the goal in mind, but also has your lifestyle in mind, I think is very important for sure.
Yeah. Just finding someone that you gel with, like me and Claire's coaches are different. They're quite different approaches. They're quite different people. I think that I probably wouldn't gel with yours as much as I gel with mine.
I've actually tried yours and I love him so much, but I love my current coach for our personal relationship. And I feel like having that connection with your coach, having a coach that you can be open and honest with is very, very important, and that, you know, communicates to you in a method that you like. I personally don't like when coaches do looms. I love written feedback. That's just personal opinions, and that's nothing to do with the actual coach. But finding a coach's methods that do work for you is really important as well.
Yeah, definitely.
What would be a green flag? And if a coach can't answer your questions or they get defensive when you do ask questions, I feel like that's a massive red flag. Like, if you were to ask me a question like, why is this in my plan? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, just do it. Yeah. Like they're a shit coach. If they can't like justify it, rationalize it, and explain why it's in there and give you the education around it, I feel like they're just not a good coach.
Yeah. And then on the other end of the stick, I really like people who can admit that they don't know. Like, I don't want somebody that knows all the, or thinks that they know everything and thinks they know all the answers. Like, I actually like when somebody can say to me like, oh, actually, like, well, not around why have you given me calories? I don't know. But like, just having the, like, not having the ego, I think is really important for me personally. Like, I like to have somebody that's like, no, I don't have all the answers. I don't know what's going on with your body right now. We're going to figure it out, rather than being like, your body should be losing fat and it's not. And my approach is right. So you're wrong. Like, at the end of the day, like, Scotty's had so many times where we've gone, okay, that was a bit random. Like, anyway, we'll try something else.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, your body is going to give you feedback. So if your coach is not able to listen to that feedback or like, listen to that feedback and change the plan based on it, I feel like that's a red flag. But yeah, like, the I don't know, but let's figure it out is such a green flag. Like, I say that to my clients. If they come to me with a question, I'm like, I'm not experienced in this. I don't actually know the answer, but I'm such an avid learner. Like, I would love to research it and give you my feedback based on that. But like, I feel like that's a massive green flag in a coach as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And they care. If they care, like you'll know if they care, and if they care and if they're invested in your goal, massive green flag.
Yeah, well, I think that's my favorite thing about Scott is like I genuinely, well, I don't know if he does, but I feel like he really cares and believes in me.
Yeah.
And that's all I really need. Like in a coach, I think everybody's needs are different. I look at Callum and I, for example, vastly, vastly different. Callum wants lots of data. He wants just to be told what to do, whatever, whatever. I need a bit of just like some vibes. I need cool, calm, collective vibes. I need sometimes just to have like a little bit of banter. I need not so much data. Like what you need is going to be different, and so you just got to find the right people for that. I think 100%. All right, probably last question. This is like a good one. Tricky one. I really struggle to get out of bed. I'm always tired on waking, even if I've had a good sleep, and often dread getting up. Do you have any suggestions or tips to find the motivation or get in a positive headspace to get moving when the bed is so cozy and I feel tired still?
There's lots to unpack here as well.
2 parts. The tiredness, yes. But the motivation to get up.
And mindset, yeah.
Yes. I think we can really touch on the mindset and positive headspace to get up and get out of bed, because at the end of the day, like if you're waking up, this was a client of mine anyway. So
interesting.
we're working on this.
Yeah.
But if you're waking up super tired, okay, well look at why. Are you having good sleep? Are you having quality sleep? Are you getting enough? Are you fueling yourself right? Blah, blah,
What's
blah,
your
blah,
nighttime routine like? Are you going to bed stressed or anxious? So then that's going to carry over into the morning, those types of things. Like look at the logic first, I feel like.
Yeah. And just fueling the body, moving the body, everything like that. That's super important there.
Set yourself up for success in that regard. Then we can nail the actual mindset side of things.
But the not wanting to get out of bed, this is an interesting one because personally, I feel like I've never, ever experienced it.
Interesting. Me either.
It's really interesting. 2 reasons why, probably for a little personal tangent. One, I just don't sleep well. So like I'm at the crack of dawn and I'm like, literally I'm the type of person that like as soon as my like eyes open, I'm like this. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Like I have no sleepiness in my body when I wake up in the morning. It's really crazy. But also I have a life that I'm so fucking excited to wake up for. I just cannot wait to get out of bed, go drink my Oxy Shred, go for my morning walk, come back, eat my brekkie. I go to bed excited to wake up for my day.
And I think that's completely a choice. Like you can choose to view your life as something that you dread and hate and whatever it comes down to language. You can also choose to be excited for those things. And choosing more of the things that light you up is key to getting up and being excited for the day for sure.
So step 1 would be create a morning routine that one doesn't feel rigid, doesn't feel restrictive, doesn't feel bad, something that you can be devoted to that's going to make you feel good. Find some things in the morning that you are going to be excited to execute, but also that make you feel good, that give you energy.
Yeah, whether it's like a favorite brekkie or like getting up and going for a walk first thing and just like romanticizing those little things. Like I feel like I love romanticizing the little things. Like freaking get up and have a boogie. Like be ridiculously excited and allow yourself to be excited about those things and just like romanticize the absolute fuck out of them.
Yes, romanticize your morning coffee, your morning walk, like sitting on the balcony. The little tiny little things make such a big difference. Like romanticize, it's so funny, but like put your Ugg boots next to your bed, and when your like alarm goes off at the other side of the room, romanticize like taking the covers off, putting your little feet in both of your Uggies, do your nice stretch, like be the main character in your movie.
It's so funny. I literally have this tattoo, chapter 1 on my arm, which means to me like make your life worth writing a book about. And it's those little things. Like if you watch this like cute little like New York City apartment girl waking up, ripping the covers off her nice cozy bed, but still like she gets up out of bed. Like it doesn't take away from the fact that your covers are cozy, but you're just romanticizing each step after that as well. For sure, just like treating it like your life is a movie. Love that.
You literally are the main character though. Like,
this is your life. You can literally do what you want with it.
yeah. I mean, what's that quote? Like if your life was a movie right now, what would the audience be screaming at you to do? Like, do those things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the morning, getting out of bed, like I think tangible things is like put your alarm on the other side of the room. Like you have to do a few little things to get yourself out of this rut. Like if you're somebody who the alarm goes off, you either snooze it 10 times or you stop, like you stop it, but you go straight on Instagram. Make note of that and change it. Just cut it up. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to adjust it. Does the phone go in the other room or the other side of the room? Like something needs to happen to make that first initial like change.
Get out of bed. Yeah.
Yeah. But also like getting a bit of a routine that it feels natural, it will become easier.
Yeah, for sure. I think the idea of having a routine as soon as you get up, like you have a purpose as soon as you wake up. I think that's really important. Like, for example, if it's like you get up out of bed and you already have your gym clothes laid out, you're going to go straight and put them on. Then that's going to lead you to your toothbrush that's out and you're going to brush your teeth. Like having that logical step, it's going to get you moving. Also removing like the decisions made in the morning. I feel like the problem is at the moment you're having a choice. It's a choice whether you stay in bed or you get up. We just want to make it less, like it's not an option to stay in bed. You've just got to get up. There's like no question about it. You just have to make it something that you have to do. Just like the non-negotiables, right? It's non-negotiable to, like that's just not an option to stay in bed.
Yeah. It's like cleaning your teeth. You don't not do it. Like even if you sort of can't be bothered, you still do it. You just do it because you do. Just becoming the type of person that just gets out of bed. It's just a part of you. You're the type of person that cleans your teeth. You're just going to be the type of person that gets out of bed when the alarm goes off.
Yeah, and I think like accepting that it might be hard in the beginning, that's okay. You just have to do it hard. Like it's just you just have to start doing it. It's not going to be easy because it is something that isn't a habit yet. You have to stick with it and like put in the effort to make that change first. Then, 2 months down the track, you might be someone who is this. Yeah. But even like looking at someone who you idolize or someone that has that morning routine down pat and like pretending like you're going to be that person, like what would they do in that moment? They would get up, they would brush their teeth, they would get their clothes on, they would get out of the house, whatever it is. Just start taking those actions.
Yeah. And remember, that doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be just has to be consistent. Like at the end of the day, yes, I get out of bed every single day, but I say, oh yeah, I always meditate. Well, I actually didn't meditate this morning, so whoops. Like it's no one's ever perfect, right? So just don't beat yourself up with it. But I think at the end of the day, if I could give one piece of advice for the getting out of the bed and feeling energized and motivated and excited for life is choose to be that way. Look for the good in everything and romanticize the fuck out of your life. Like you are only here for this one moment. Like you are here right now is all we have. And if we are not making the most of it and not cherishing it and enjoying it and dressing ourselves up and making every decision important and towards our best self, what are we doing? What are you doing if you're not living your fucking best life?
And if that feels super far away and super like, what the fuck, these people are crazy speaking to me in my podcast, like start by doing like 3 gratefuls in the morning, 3 gratefuls in the night. Like you can just be grateful for little things throughout the day. Like for example, I'm so grateful to be sat here with my best friend, like doing a podcast. Like how freaking cool is that? And just like start regularly practicing that gratitude. It's something I make my partner do with me every day.
Yeah.
And it helps frame me in that positive mindset. When
Yeah.
you do that, it's so much easier to romanticize the little things too, because you're so much more aware. Like what you focus on becomes your reality.
Yeah.
When you are focusing on the good, like it's so much easier to romanticize the life and have something worth waking up for.
Yeah. And if we tie it all the way back to this first question that we had at the start, like stepping into your feminine energy and your self-care, it all comes down to that. And if that all feels too big, just like what you said, start small. Do one little thing for yourself and build the self-trust, build the self-confidence. Start looking for the good and look around you and find one thing that you can just make yours, make a little bit better, make exciting, make you feel more in love with yourself or more trusting in yourself. Start small and it will just progress and progress and progress. And soon enough, you will feel like a completely different person and people will be asking you about the glow up.
Yeah, that's it. Full circle. How's
Full
that?
circle moment.
Didn't even realize we glow. Well, I didn't even realize I glowed up, but here we are.
I know. And that's the funny thing. I think that's the funny thing about it. It doesn't feel easy. It doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't feel like anything's happening. And then all of a sudden people ask you, what are you doing? Right?
Full circle. Like you don't feel like you're feeling lost right now and you're finding yourself along the way, but you don't feel found until someone reflects that back to you and you're like, oh wait, I'm actually really happy with the choices I've made and the person I am today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boom.
Oh my gosh.
That was so fun.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I am so grateful that you've been on the podcast, Claire. This has been so fun.
That was so much fun. I'm so grateful that I got, when Morgan asked me, I was like, oh my God, I felt like a celebrity asked me. I was like me romanticizing my best friend, like
Literally.
so cool.
But the great thing is like we have these conversations like this is just like a normal walk for us. Like our morning walks is literally just us going like, oh my God, I love life. I love the Gold Coast. Oh my God, we're so grateful to be alive. Wow, 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 wow. Really,
that's literally all we talk about.
That's literally all it is. And I hope that everyone listening, if you don't have somebody in your life that you can be like that with, I hope you find somebody like that. And if you don't, I hope that this podcast gave you a little bit of that. I hope you feel inspired, motivated, excited. Honestly, I just want people to feel excited to be alive. If I could give one thing out to the world, it's to feel excited.
Yeah, like you're here, you're alive, you got 2 legs and a heartbeat. Let's go do something amazing.
Some ears, you're
make some
listening
magic.
to some freaking chat in your ears. Like, wow, how good. So lucky. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you liked this episode, please let us know, because I loved this episode and I feel like this should be a bit more of a regular thing.
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to get a lot of value from this. So if you do like this, let us know. Share this on your Instagram. Share this to somebody who you think needs to hear it. Send us more questions. If you have like a really big question or dilemma you want answered, send it to us and we will make it happen.
Yeah, love it.
Absolutely. You can go and follow Claire on Instagram. If you don't already, it's Coach Claire.
Coach__Claire.
Yeah, lit. And they can go and follow you. Obviously, you know where to find me. But we will speak to you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.